यस सर।
क्लियर?
हाँ
एक मिनट होल्ड कर।
ओके सर, ओके सर।
दिख रहा है?
हाँ सर, दिख रहा है सर।
ठीक है. Last time we had this thing. We had discussed till the functions of this thing RBI, commercial bank and credit creation, right? क्रेडिट क्रिएशन कैसे होता है मैंने बताया था आप लोगों को मल्टीपल स्टेज में. मेरे ख्याल से आरबीआई के बारे में मैंने आपको बता दिया था कि आरबीआई का एस्टेब्लिशमेंट एंड दिस थिंग वाज डन इन द ईयर 1935 एंड नेशनलाइज्ड इन 1949. फंक्शंस हुआ है क्या हमारा? फंक्शंस पढ़ा दिया क्या मैंने?
फंक्शन नहीं सर।
फंक्शन ऑफ आरबीआई, if I correctly remember, instruments of monetary policy पढ़ाना था मेरे को.
यस सर, यस सर।
Right? Instruments of monetary policy पढ़ाना था है कि नहीं?
हाँ सर, हाँ सर।
Okay. So before this thing, पहले we'll see what is monetary policy and then we will see what are the objectives of monetary policy. Then we will go ahead with this instruments of monetary policy. मतलब what are the various ways which are used by the RBI, that we'll see later. First we'll see what are the various objectives of monetary policy. अब monetary policy का मतलब क्या है? Monetary policy is a policy where the RBI controls the supply of money or the actual supply of money in the economy. In simple terms, we say it as quantity of money is controlled by the Reserve Bank of India, and the policies which are used are called as monetary policy of RBI. Now there are different objectives which are kept in mind before floating any policy. One is neutral monetary policy. See, here the objective of monetary policy of RBI is to stabilize the market, stabilize the money market. ज्यादा क्या होता है, अगर मेरा value of my currency keeps on fluctuating, it becomes very difficult for the exporters and importers to do business, and it also becomes difficult for the other countries to what do you say, to do business with us. It will negatively hamper our exports and imports. So it is very necessary to maintain a smooth and flexible, like very stable currency rate and stable this thing money market, so that people will have a prediction and accordingly they'll do the business. Now here even controlling credit is very important. Higher the amount of money in the market, higher will be the inflation, and lower the amount of money will in the market, lower will be the inflation, that is deflation. And we any country like India, which is having a target of rapid economic growth, mild inflation is expected. We are ready to what is it, accept mild inflation, but we are not ready to accept deflation. Deflation is lack of demand, and it will it has a negative impact on the growth of the country. So what happens to maintain this stability, to maintain the outflow of goods, that is exports, and to check the imports, and to maintain a decent growth, decent economic growth, the RBI has to ensure a smooth functioning in the money market, a stable money market, and which helps the exporters to do their business very smoothly. Further, the availability of money also fluctuates, destabilizes the foreign exchange market. ज्यादा हमारे पास ज्यादा पैसा होगा, हमारा करेंसी ज्यादा होगा. What happened in Cuba, what happened in some South African countries, you must have seen. The presidents and the finance ministers and all did not take care of they did not check the flow of money. I don't say that there should be a shortage of money. There has to be sufficient quantity of money available in the country, but it should not happen like that we print in such a quantity that tomorrow the value of that currency goes down. Value of the currency goes down only when we print money in bulk. अगर हम लोग इसको बल्क में प्रिंटिंग करेंगे, बल्क में if we start printing currency and will not keep that ratio in mind, that how much amount of gold we have to keep in reserve, then definitely in that case what is going to happen is your money value, your currency value is going to go down. And if currency value goes down, even if you export in huge quantities, your earnings will be very less. And even if you import a small quantity also, you have to pay a very huge amount of money. So that will again drag you into the burden, and the country will be in trouble. So for that, exchange rate stability is maintained. See, what we do is, in our country, what we have done is, just 1 second. In our country, we always try to maintain our current rupee value, which is pegged in terms of dollars, between 68 to 75. The reason is, if we are, it is not that I am restricting the market. There are certain speculators who are going to make money out of this fluctuation in the currency value also. So making scope for them and maintaining stability, I am not allowing dollar to go down below 69, and I am not allowing dollar to go above 75 also. So I am protecting my importers also, I am protecting my exporters also, and I am trying to ensure a stability between two limits. So if I am ensuring this, all will do business. Speculator जो शेयर फॉरेक्स मार्केट में मुनाफा कमाते इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, उनके लिए भी प्रॉफिटेबल है, और जो एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं उनके लिए भी एक प्रेडिक्टेबल मार्केट मिलता है, और जो इंपोर्टर्स है उनको भी एक प्रेडिक्शन आ जाता है कि yes, if I import this much, automatically I'll be paying this much. So future rates जो इंटरनेशनल मार्केट, जो इंटरनेशनल बिजनेस हम लोग पढ़ते हैं डिग्री में वगैरह, वहां पे जो फ्यूचर रेट ऑफ एक्सचेंज फिक्स होता है वो इसी बेस पे होता है. Further, by ensuring a sufficient amount of money in the market, and by curbing extra money from the market, or by supplying money when it is required, if there is a shortage in the market, I am ensuring price stability. प्राइस स्टेबिलिटी, अगर बार बार पगार बढ़ाएंगे, बार बार पैसा बढ़ेगा, तो बार बार प्राइस फ्लक्चुएट होगा, बार बार फ्लक्चुएट होगा, तो इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन भी फ्लक्चुएट होता है, ग्रोथ रेट ऊपर नीचे होता रहता है. So to ensure smooth functioning of the economy, I have to ensure what do you say, price stability. And for price stability, we should have a proper money policy where the monetary needs are met and extra money is not supplied. Further, if you go to degree and if you go deep into economic study, you'll find out that there are certain business cycles. They are called as business trends. In simple terms, I'll make it very easy for you. It is inflation and deflation, inflationary period and deflationary period. As the market goes up, as the prices are going up, it is called as inflationary or gain period. As the market is going down, prices going down, it is called as deflationary period. तो हमको हाइपर इन्फ्लेशन भी नहीं चाहिए, और हमको हाइपर और डीप डिप्रेशन भी नहीं चाहिए. I have told you, for ensuring economic growth, rapid economic growth, mild inflation is preferred, but hyperinflation is dangerous. So to control these business cycles in right time at right place, the money supply has to be controlled. So monetary policies are used whenever there is inflation, and if the inflation is going out of control, the excess amount of money will be sucked up from the market. And whenever there is a what do you say, deficient amount of money and the markets are falling and the business are closing, that time the money will be printed and it will be supplied in the market. So monetary policy is extremely important for maintaining these things. Further, to ensure full employment, see, I don't want to over-employ people also, I don't want to under-employ people also, I want to just sufficiently fulfill the people who are requiring job. So जिनको जॉब चाहिए उनको सप्लाई करने के लिए what I do is I will use my monetary policy in such a way that employment increases up to a certain level, and after that it stops. So to ensure full employment, to ensure proper growth in the economy, monetary policy is again required. So these are the various objectives which are kept in mind while framing monetary policies. Now let us see what are the various policy measures used by the Reserve Bank of India for controlling money in the market. Now there are two types of policies. One category is called as quantitative measures, and another category is called as qualitative measures. Now what happens? Quantitative methods are nothing but they actually control the quantity of physical quantity of money in the market, whereas qualitative methods they are like अभी आप लोग को कॉलेज वाले बुलाते हैं, बोलते डिसिप्लिन में रहो, ये मत करो, वो मत करो, जो सुनने वाला सुनता है, जो नहीं सुनने वाला नहीं सुनता है. Getting? So qualitative measures are like that, advising, indirect methods of controlling money. Now we'll see one by one. Actually quantitative बहुत कम है, लेकिन qualitative ज़्यादा है. So we'll start with the quantitative so that we can finish up this part. In quantitative methods, first one is bank rate policy. bank rate policy is nothing but it is the interest charged by the RBI from the commercial banks for the loans taken by the commercial banks from RBI. And this bank rate will determine at what rate the commercial banks will charge their loans given to the customers. So जिस रेट पे RBI चार्ज कर रहा है उसी रेट पे commercial banks भी चार्ज करते हैं. Similarly, when you have deposits with the Reserve Bank of India by commercial banks and the rate of interest paid by the Reserve Bank of India to the commercial banks, same is reflected in the what do you say commercial same is reflected in the commercial banks operations with the commercial customers. So bank rate is nothing but the rate at which the Reserve Bank of India gives interest to the commercial banks and charges interest on the commercial banks loans. Now during inflation, what happens? The Reserve Bank of during inflation in the sense when we are having excess of money and our prices are rallying. So during that time, what we do is the Reserve Bank of India increases the bank rate on deposits and loans. Now, if the rate of interest on loans and deposits is increased, the people who don't want to take risk, they will start saving more. And people who know that they want to save for future, उनको लगता है कि rate of interest अच्छा है अभी. So what will they do is they will start depositing money in the bank because rate of interest is good. As a result, they will cut down their consumption. And when they cut down their consumption, their demand for goods and services reduces. Money comes to bank, demand reduces. Companies will not produce because there is no demand. And if companies are not producing, what happens? Employment is lost. And if employment is lost, income is lost. And if income is lost, further demand falls. This is how we control inflation. Other ways, increasing rate of interest on loans. Now, suppose some businessmen, what they do, they always hunt for cheap loans or the loans which are having less rate of interest. Now, when the loans are, when the rate of interest on loans is increased, nobody will take loan and do business. And if there's no business, no production, no employment, no income, and no consumption and no demand. Similarly, during deflation, the exactly opposite method is used. They will reduce the rate of interest on loan, they will reduce the rate of interest on deposits, and people will withdraw money from the bank because there is no decent amount of money interest being paid by the banks to the customers. Instead, what they'll do, businesses are increasing. So these people will invest money in shares, capital, or companies. So as a result, the production increases. And if production increases, employment increases. And if employment increases, consumption increases because income is increasing and further demand increases. So this is how we use bank rate policy to control inflation and deflation. Now there are two terms which will come in examination. One is called as repo rate and one is called as reverse repo rate. Repo rate is the rate of interest charged by Reserve Bank of India on commercial banks borrowings, that is loans taken by the commercial banks from the RBI. This is called as repo rate. This is a charge or this loan is for very short period. If the commercial bank, if the Reserve Bank of India wants to increase the demand in the market, it will reduce the repo rate. And if it wants to reduce the credit in the market, it will increase the repo rate. Understood? Now, what is reverse repo rate? Reverse repo rate is the rate of interest paid by the commercial banks, paid by the Reserve Bank of India on the deposits kept by the commercial banks with the Reserve Bank of India. Understood? So this is called as a reverse repo rate. Clear? Now let us go to open market operations. Open market operations is nothing but it refers to the sale and purchase of government securities and bonds in the open market like share market. Here, whenever there is inflation, whenever there is extra money in the market, the government agencies like UTI Bank or INGOS, it is called as, such agencies, post office, government banks and all, they will start selling government securities in the market. And they will tell that this much of fixed returns will be given on this, compounded annually, they'll tell. So what people do, people will start buying those securities, government securities, and your money which was extra in your pocket goes to government, and government will automatically control the supply of money and inflation. Further, during deflation, what they do, they start rediscounting, they start buying the bonds sold by the government agencies, and they start paying the money. So money comes to people hand, and people start spending, and demand increases, and automatically it will influences the other related aspects. So this is how open market operations are done. Cash reserve ratio. We have studied this cash reserve ratio during credit creation by commercial banks. It is it is that portion of the total deposits of the commercial banks which has to be kept as a reserve with RBI. Say if during inflation the cash reserve ratio is increased, say 10% of the total deposits if it is stored, and if bank has 1,000 rupees, 10% means 100 rupees. So bank can give loan only up to 900 rupees. It cannot give you loan of 1,000 rupees total, because total का 10% रखना है उनको. So 100 rupees they'll keep it with them. Understood? So during inflation the CRR is increased, and during deflation the CRR, cash reserve ratio, is decreased. Understood? Next is statutory liquidity ratio. Besides cash reserve ratio, the commercial banks are supposed to maintain a certain portion of their total assets or deposits in the form of gold, in the form of bonds, in the form of securities. Getting? So this is called as SLR, or statutory liquidity ratio. So these assets, they are also assets. These assets are nothing but if you see these things with the cash reserve ratio, they supplement, they help in controlling inflation or deflation. So further, these are all four methods which are used as quantitative. Directly, these four methods always directly impact the quantity of money in the economy. Further, we have qualitative measures. In qualitative measures, the first one is margin requirements. Now, you must be aware that whenever somebody approaches with a mortgage, suppose I go to bank and ask for a gold loan, the bank will value my gold. First, they will get it valued from a authorized jewelry shop or authorized jewelry showroom. Then, if suppose my gold is worth 1 lakh rupees, and if I ask for 1 lakh rupees of loan, they will not give me 1 lakh rupees. They'll say we'll give you 80,000 rupees. So he is giving me 20,000 less. The reason is this 20,000 less is nothing but it is a margin requirement fixed by the Reserve Bank of India. So during inflation, margin requirement is increased, and during deflation, the margin requirement is decreased. Understood? So the margin requirements is the difference between the actual value of mortgaged value, mortgaged asset, and the loan given against that. The difference of these two things will give you what do you say margin requirement. Next is regulation of consumer credit. You must be aware that there is a section called as consumer credit. आप लोग मोबाइल फोन लेने जाते हो, कार लेने जाते हो, मोटरसाइकिल लेने जाते हो, फ्रिज लेने जाते हो. आजकल वो बजाज फाइनेंस, बजाज फिन सर्विस वाला जो है, वो हर कंज्यूमर गुड्स पे दे रहा है, मोबाइल, टीवी, फ्रिज, many things. This government will see if there is a huge demand in the market, and if people are consuming like anything, they will control the supply of money in the market. What they do, they will tell that now there is inflation and loan should not be given. तो आपको अभी जाके आप बोलोगे कि मेरे को टीवी पे लोन पे टीवी चाहिए, फ्रिज चाहिए, तो आपको मना नहीं करेगा. अभी उसको क्या बोला गया है, कंट्रोल करो. तो क्या करेगा, सर आप एक लिस्ट दे देगा, उसमें 50 डॉक्यूमेंट रहेंगे, सर इतने सब डॉक्यूमेंट जमा करके लेके आ जाओ, एक 20 फोटो दे दो, सर आपको लोन दे देंगे. वो 50 डॉक्यूमेंट जमा करने के लिए आपको 50 महीना लग जाएगा. तो वो लिस्ट ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंट देख के व्हाट यू टेल, लोन. दिस इज ड्यूरिंग इन्फ्लेशन. ड्यूरिंग डिफ्लेशन व्हेन गवर्नमेंट सेज दैट गिव मोर लोन्स, जाके पूछोगे फिर फ्रिज लेना है सर, मेरे को लोन चाहिए. अरे कुछ नहीं सर, एक आधार कार्ड और पैन कार्ड लगा दो, आपका बैंक का पासबुक का जेरॉक्स लगा दो, सैलरी यहाँ पे आता है, लोन दे देंगे. शाम को आप जेरॉक्स लेके पहुंच जाते हो, सुबह आपके फ्रिज घर में पहुंच जाएगा. Getting what they did? They made it very easy. Understood? So it is all policy which determines whether to loan is to be given or not. Sometimes government says that TV पे loan मत दो, fridge पे loan मत दो. So if government wants to control chlorofluorocarbon, if government wants to control the pollution, they say मोटरसाइकिल पे लोन मत दो, कार पे लोन मत दो. तो आपको लोन नहीं देंगे नहीं बोलेगा, सर रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट इज 19% सर, और ये लिस्ट ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंट्स भी है. So seeing those two things, what you will tell, मेरे को लोन नहीं चाहिए. Understood? So this is how consumer loans are controlled. Control through directives. Next one is control through directives. Now, Reserve Bank of India may write an email, may write a physical letter, or may call them and inform them that whether we have to control the loan or whether we have to give more loans. So, this kind of directives through different media like email or letter or oral calls or any other mode is called as control through directives. Next is credit rationing. Now, when I say credit rationing, the here the Reserve Bank of India will tell the agricultural sector को loan दो और बाकी sector को बंद कर दो. Agricultural automotive का दे दो और बाकी को मत दो. So what they are doing, they are rationing it. They are controlling which sector should get loans and which sector should not get loans. So bifurcating and telling banks to specifically give loans to a particular area or particular sector is called as credit rationing. So credit rationing is done like this. Next is direct action. Now, Reserve Bank of India, even after emailing, even after telling, even after pursuing, even after counseling, if they don't follow these things, the Reserve Bank of India may take a direct action. क्या करते हैं? They may refuse. जो भी बैंक उनका बात नहीं मान रहा है, जो भी प्राइवेट बैंक या गवर्नमेंट बैंक उनकी बात नहीं मान रहा है, उसको आपको लोन नहीं देंगे, आपको ब्लैकलिस्ट कर देंगे, आपका एक्टिविटीज मतलब लिमिट कर देंगे, आपका स्टेट में ऑपरेशंस लिमिट कर देंगे. ऐसे डायरेक्ट एक्शंस लेते हैं. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज डायरेक्ट एक्शन. Moral suasions. Next method is moral suasions. In moral suasions, the Reserve Bank of India informs the commercial banks. There is an inflation, please control the loan. There is a deflation, please promote loan. So जैसे advise करते हैं उस step पे mild way of telling them what to do and what not to do. So this is how moral suasions are used. The last one is publicity. Publicity is nothing but here Reserve Bank of India will publish its studies, results of studies. Inflation है, ये policy of this policy is to be used. Deflation है, this policy is to be used. So here Reserve Bank of India, instead of specifically telling banks, they will publish the trends and they will advise banks and these things in general papers, newspapers and other things, and on websites, telling that this is now rigid money policy has to be followed, now loose money policy has to be followed, and we have to follow these, we have to control this, and we have to control deflation, we have to automotive sector has gone out of control, so it has to be controlled like this. All methods are suggested. They are suggested in papers and publishing is done, and accordingly these people will follow the instructions. These people automatically take up the this thing, required action. So this is how the Reserve Bank of India controls money. So these are the various methods, qualitative and quantitative methods used by Reserve Bank of India in controlling money. And with this chapter is over. This chapter is around 12 marks, so you can't afford to skip this. और इधर से क्वेश्चन आता ही है. So I hope इस चैप्टर में कोई और डाउट है क्या? अभिषेक एंड लक्ष्मी, any doubts in this part? Any doubts in this part?
No, sir.
नो डाउट्स. अभी आज दोपहर तक मैं क्या करूंगा, जो इस चैप्टर के नोट्स हैं वो प्रॉपरली ये करके आप लोगों को डाल दूंगा. ठीक है. अभी माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स का 1, 2, 3 and 4 I think I have. So I'll be uploading those things. And I hope you are writing all the questions from the question bank. Solve कर रहे हो?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And after that I'll upload 8th chapter, 7th chapter, 8th chapter, 9th chapter. So in the today will be the last class. Monday we'll have we'll start with the 10th chapter, and first I'll upload the notes by Monday, and you start following. इसमें मेरे को sharing करने का कुछ option नजर नहीं आ रहा है, so I'll see what can be done, how it can be shared. If it is possible to share, then we can have a screen shared and then we can teach these things. Otherwise आप लोगों को मैं वैसे भी notes भेज रहा हूँ, तो आप वो नोट्स देख के उसमें से देख के डाउट्स निकाल के रख लेना, नेक्स्ट डे पूछ लेना. फिर क्लियर?
सर कैसा है सर अभी तबीयत? हाथ सर ऑपरेशन?
हाथ का अभी हाफ प्लास्टर लगाया है.
यस सर.
देखिए कि मंडे को जाने वाला हूँ चेकअप के लिए दोपहर में, तो शायद वो स्टिचेस वगैरह निकाल दिया तो और एक 2-3 हफ्ते के लिए प्रॉपर प्लास्टर लगाने वाले हैं. स्क्रू डाला है थंब को,
हमको सर
थंब बोन में स्क्रू डाल दिया भाई. That this is the reason I am not able to write on board. Otherwise, I would have arranged for a camera and I would have taken proper class. इसीलिए मैं ये स्क्रीन शेयरिंग के झंझट में पड़ गया हूँ थोड़ा सा.
कोई नहीं
तो
सर.
ड्राइविंग में डिफिकल्ट हो रहा है इसलिए नहीं आ पा रहा हूँ. That's why I'm taking online class. So functions of Abhishek and Lakshmi.
Yes, sir.
Yes sir.
Functions, see, in this chapter, what are important things I'll tell you. This is money, functions of money, meaning of commercial bank, functions of commercial banks, Reserve Bank of India's establishment date and nationalization date, then functions of Reserve Bank of India, monetary policy ka meaning and objectives, and credit creation by commercial banks. Write down these things if you want. Money ka meaning of money, functions of money, then meaning of commercial bank, then functions of commercial bank, then Reserve Bank of India's introduction like establishment date and nationalization date, then functions of Reserve Bank of India, then credit creation by commercial banks, and small 1 marks question like repo rate, reverse repo rate, inflation, deflation, tight money policy, loose money policy, these things are used.
Yes sir.
एंड ये मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी जो क्वालिटेटिव क्वांटिटेटिव है ये मेंशन करने के लिए भी आता है 2 मार्क्स के लिए और एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए भी आता है 4-5 मार्क्स के लिए. ओनली दिस मच इज इंपॉर्टेंट फ्रॉम दिस चैप्टर.
Sir.
क्लियर?
Yes sir.
Okay. So let us stop here for today, and tomorrow will not tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday, right? So I'll ask Patil sir if tomorrow he schedules the class. I'll take up a class, and if he's not scheduling, then Monday we'll have a class.
Okay sir.
Monday same time. 9:05 will start and 9:50 will finish off.
Okay sir.
Okay.
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Sure. Bye bye.